Revealed. Here's why Mercedes were faster at the Australian GP. Mercedes' start to the 2023 Formula One season was below par, with Red Bull seemingly gaining an edge over the Silver Arrows in the opening 2 rounds. However, at the Australian Grand Prix, Mercedes bounced back in impressive fashion, achieving their best performance of the season so far. The question on everyone's mind now is what exactly caused this dramatic turnaround for Mercedes? Let's explore the secret behind their newfound performance boost. Mercedes secured second and third place in qualifying and significantly closed the gap to Red Bull over 1 lap. In the race, they even briefly led in a 1-2 position, a remarkable feat considering their struggles at the start of the season. After the qualifying session, Russell stated, "The car felt alive. The lap at the end was right on the limit. I've got to be honest, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get pole position." Although Max Verstappen was the eventual and deserved winner, Mercedes' race performance was also stronger, with third-placed Fernando Alonso saying he could not get close enough to runner-up Lewis Hamilton. For Mercedes, it would be too much to start getting excited about a true resurgence after just 1 round and with 20 races remaining. Red Bull are still in a league of their own. However, there's no denying that this was a step forward for Mercedes, and their ultimate goal remains to challenge Red Bull. But before they can do that, they need to leapfrog Aston Martin, who have also produced a competitive car this year. To do that, Mercedes will need to understand why they improved so much in Melbourne. As we saw last season, improving a car's performance requires a deep understanding of both its strengths and weaknesses. While Mercedes showed flashes of speed last year, they failed to build on those moments and ultimately fell short. This year, Mercedes will need to adjust their mindset and focus on maximizing the potential of their current car, rather than chasing a big leap in performance that may not be realistic. So while there's a reason to be optimistic about Mercedes' future prospects, there's still plenty of work to be done. The challenge now is to maintain the momentum from Australia and continue improving throughout the season. Their improvement at Albert Park, though, probably has a primary factor: tire usage. Saturday's qualifying session was unusual. Unlike in more typical seasons where drivers use a set of tires for maybe 3, 4, or 5 laps, with 1 or 2 hot laps, in Australia they circulated for 10, 11, or 12 laps at a time, with multiple fast laps required to extract the best lap time. This played into Mercedes' hands. This year and last year, their car has always struggled with getting the tires into the right performance window quickly enough. The deficit they have to other teams in this regard was lessened in Melbourne's cooler conditions. This also meant that they tend to perform better over longer stints than over 1 lap, and this was replicated in qualifying over the longer runs. While Mercedes' performance in Australia was encouraging, there is still work to be done to improve their 1-lap pace. One factor that can make or break a lap time in F1 is tire temperature. But it's not just about getting the tires hot, it's about breaking them in like a new pair of shoes. They might be stiff, tough, and painful initially, but after wearing them a few times, the stitches loosen up, and they begin to feel more comfortable and pliable. The carcass of the tire is not equally stressed when it's made, so it needs to be worked on to achieve the compliance required for a qualifying lap when the compound is at its peak. Unfortunately, Mercedes falls short in this regard. They don't work the front tires hard enough to achieve the necessary compliance for a quick lap. Identifying and rectifying this issue will be crucial if they hope to challenge for victories later in the year. While it's difficult to pinpoint the exact problem, acknowledging its existence is the first step towards a solution. As Mercedes aims to make progress in the upcoming races, they have found a valuable reference point in Aston Martin. Although visually, the AMR23 may resemble the Red Bull car, it shares many components with the Mercedes car, including the power unit, gearbox, and suspension. This similarly allows Mercedes to compare lap times and performance more easily with Aston Martin and identify areas where they need to improve. On the other hand, comparing themselves with Red Bull is more challenging, as they have fewer shared components, making it difficult to pinpoint the area where they need to catch up. By acknowledging their current situation and focusing on the achievable goal of beating Aston Martin, Mercedes can eliminate some of the question marks around their performance and make meaningful progress. Moreover, even if Aston Martin is not winning races, they are still doing an impressive job and should be recognized for their accomplishments. What's your thoughts about Mercedes' performance at the Australian GP? Let us know in the comments section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more videos like this. See you in the next video.